Today we're going to do Jasmine's hip carry, and it's a tandem woven wrap carry with loose sling rings. I have two size large loose sling rings from slingrings.com that I'm going to use to create a double hip sling wrap carry. I also have with me my size 5 Kokadi woven wrap. I do find that the brand makes a difference with the ease of sliding through the rings. I found all cotton works the best. I've tried myself personally, Kokadi's, Vatani's, and Girasol, all with good results. So look for a thinner woven wrap with not too much grip, and you should be able to do this carry as well. So I like to find the middle marker on my wrap. There it is right here. And that's where I'm going to put the rings through. And to make sure that this carry is independent, which means that each side you can take out or adjust a baby without affecting the baby on the other side, I do at the very top, I knot it. And this type of knot is called a cow hitch knot, so I put it through both the loose rings. I don't know how to show, in a loop. I'm going to hold one side and pull it over and through so that my wrap is anchored on the rings. And I do like to go and tug kind of the sides, ends, and middle, so that's strand by strand on the wrap. So now I have my size 5 wrap. It's hard to see here, huh? Completely anchored on my two rings. And I'm going to put one on each, one pass on each side of my shoulders, and the rings in the middle. And the rings in the middle is for your comfort and your baby's comfort, because you don't want one baby's head to be knocking on the rings as you're wearing them. So again, I'm just tightening through to make sure that that knot is as small as possible so that I can fit the two sides in the rings to close it off later. So I have the rings right here at my sternum, and I have the wrap going down each side. What I'm actually going to do, if I don't get caught up in my curtain here, is cross the wrap on my back. Just a nice X there. So, the sides are opposite on my shoulders, and of course, the more you get it off your neck, the more comfortable it will be long term. If you have the entire wrap up and riding on your neck, your babies will feel heavy. Alright, so I have both sides. I try to spread the shoulders as much as possible beforehand. Whoops, but not so much that I break the knot of my rings. Lovely. So, what happened there is I pulled so tight that I actually dislodged my cow hitch knot here. Helpful. So I'm just retightening it all over again. Alright, so both sides of my wrap are an X on my back. Oh, and actually, it's more comfortable. I'm going to take it off because just realized my knot is on me instead of facing away from me, and it's more comfortable to put the knot on the other side. So, there we go. Now the knot, or at least the main loop portion, is on the outside, so it won't be pressing against me. And starting again. So, I'm going to make that X in the back from the shoulder passes. I don't know if you can see. Yep, they're crossed. Wonderful. I'm going to fold one side up and thread it all the way through both rings. And with Jasmine's, because you have, double the babies and double the sling in your rings, the tighter you get it at the beginning and the less adjusting you have to do at the end, the better. Because it is difficult to adjust that much wrap in between the rings. So I'm making sure I don't have any twisted fabric and creating a nice little pocket. My little ones are 2 now, and I don't think I could get them to be very cooperative, quiet models, so I'm going to be using dolls tonight. So I have both of the passes threaded through both rings, and now to secure it, I don't know if you can see, I'm popping those rings apart, and just like a regular ring sling, I'm putting each side of the wrap over one ring and under the next. I'm going to pull to tighten. So I have one side here fully over and under. I'm going to do this side as well. Over one ring, under the second. And now I'm just tightening. Tightening, tightening, tightening. I definitely like to tighten what's called strand by strand, which means pulling each individual part through those rings, each rail, which is the side of your woven wrap, and the middle as well. You want it to be nice and snug so that your babies aren't going to fall. So here I have a pocket for one little one and a pocket for another little one, and the spread shoulders. As you can see, I've got a lot of wrap here in the middle, but this carry is great for nursing, great for quick in and out to the grocery store when you don't, or the post office, anywhere you go where you have an errand that you need to do quickly, have 2 babies, and don't want to spend the time with a double stroller. Alright, so I have 2 baby dolls. And this is all personal preference, I'm going to put the heavier, bigger baby here on my dominant side. So that is my right hand. Both. And I've always preferred to put the heavier baby if you have a weight discrepancy in first. Just because once you have one baby in, it's really difficult to do the second baby. So this baby, I'm making sure has a deep seat by pulling the wrap, just like you would in a ring sling, up between baby's legs to create that seat for baby. You can't see my arm, maybe I'll go this way, so you can see that I'm pulling up the wrap between my body and baby's. If your baby does not have head control yet, you want them to be arms in, so that way you can give them all that support all the way up their back. So, with your little one, try to make sure they're not facing your armpit. There we go. So I've got one baby in that carrier, knee to knee, well supported. And here comes the tricky part. If your little one doesn't have head control yet, you're really going to have to monitor what you do to get second baby in. I didn't do this carry until my babies could sit independently, so that way I didn't have to worry about making sure this baby was well supported when I put in second baby. But for the sake of seeing if it can be done, I'm going to say, because of the size of my weighted dolls here, that they don't have head control. So I'm going to pull on this rail, make it nice and snug so that baby is well supported. So even if I don't have hands on the baby's head and neck, I don't have to worry about them hurting. And here I'm going to pick up my second baby. And this is the awkward part because you have to reach around first baby, put them up on your shoulder, and into that second sling pouch. And I'm bouncing baby in, and oftentimes I would find my first baby here, who I'm, really up close and personal with my arm, would fuss just a little bit because it was in their personal space while I was trying to get their sibling in. I have a girlfriend locally who says it's like elbowing your first baby as you're trying to adjust second baby. So again, I want that seat to go knee to knee. So I'm pulling the fabric up in between my body and baby's. And making sure baby is fully supported by tucking in baby's arms, making sure they have a nice curved spine there. And this time I have some excess here on the top rail to make sure that they're nice and snug. So I have to go and adjust by pulling on that same top through that ring. And that's the key to having a nice, comfortable carry, is the adjusting, and you really have to do it piece by piece because your sling rings are so tight with Jasmine's. But here I have my two lovely dolls, and as you can see right now, the very end, I'm pulling down in here the fabric on my shoulder so that it's not all riding on my neck, so that I can, and see, baby's head's a little floppy. So after I've pulled, more adjusting, I'm gonna tighten that rail again. Now, as you can see, I have some tail with this 5. When mine were younger, I could do it with a 4. So this is a great double carry with a mid-length wrap. Good for in and outs, and phenomenal for nursing. Say baby A here on my right falls asleep, happy. Baby B is hungry. What do? You adjust just that baby on the one side lower so you can nurse. This baby, I'm leaving completely not adjusting. So I'm pulling that wrap down, see? Lowering. And this baby, I would nurse. It's probably not hands-free because that's a whole lot more adjusting, but I can keep my arm on baby's head, nurse one baby while other baby is still sleeping. Lifesaver. And then, okay, baby's all done. Baby's ready to sleep. I don't want baby that low because I want to be able to monitor baby's breathing. And I don't want them slumping. So I'm just going to re-tighten and adjust that top rail, rail by rail, through my rings. Tightened up, and we're ready to go. All right, thank you.